Hello and welcome to the first ever Business Without Borders online summit. I am super excited to be talking with you today. My name is Jen Mansfield of Transforming You, and we are a company that is passionate about teaching people of all ages how the mind works and then how to use that knowledge to transform perceived barriers in your life and unlock your full potential, which, by the way, is way more than you can ever imagine. So today we are going to be talking about our identity and how the beliefs we hold about ourselves directly correlate with the success in our lives or lack thereof. Let's get started. So during the talk, we are going to cover an introduction to the map of your reality. So this is about how your I am statements and the beliefs and values that maintain them are formed. How fear, chaos and confusion keep you on your map. Looking at what is the positive intention behind what's currently holding you back. How moving beyond fear, chaos and confusion takes you to infinite possibilities. And future pacing, which is the secret to guaranteeing your goals are achieved. Without further ado, let's get started. So the map of your reality. So when we are born into a universe of infinite possibilities. However, as soon as we land Earthside, we are then given identities. So I'm a baby, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a son, I'm a daughter, I'm a brother, I'm a sister. As we grow older, we then assume additional identities to these, and some of those original identities drop away and some of them stay. In order to support your identity, you will then form a set of beliefs and values. Again, initially these will be assigned to you by your primary caregivers. And these beliefs and values will justify your I am. So if you think of your I am as an identity, your beliefs and values are a why am, okay? So they're a because. So I am this because X, Y, Z. So what I want you to have a think about is what beliefs and values were you passed down as you grew up about a mother, about a working woman, about an individual, about a girl, about business. What are the beliefs and values that your caregivers and the caregivers of them believed and passed on to you? And are those currently serving you? Or is it time for a little bit of a software update and to upgrade those beliefs that you hold about yourself to enable yourself to move forward? If we take a chair, for example, its identity would be, I am a chair. Now consider its four legs to be its beliefs and values, okay? And they underpin and hold up that identity. However, if one of those legs is to break, i.e. one of your beliefs and values is taken away from you, that chair then ceases to function as a chair. It's not to say it can't be turned into something else and still be useful and used and loved. However, it is no longer a chair. So anything that lies beyond our current identity and the beliefs and values that support it will bring with it a little bit of fear. Now, fear can be considered to stand for two things. You have false evidence appearing real, or forget everything and run. Okay, and how many of us have been in a situation where we felt a little bit uncomfortable and decided that actually, no, this isn't for us, we're out of here. Okay, that is fear kicking in because it's outside our comfort zone of our current identity and the beliefs we hold about that. With the fear on the map, so that false evidence appearing real, have a think. What false evidence do you currently have that you believe to be real, that's keeping you and your business where it currently is and preventing you from moving up to that next level? Now, a lot of us, and it's again human nature, I suppose, although it seems to wear off as we get older in my experience, but a lot of us should an awful lot. So I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And also, what will other people think? Okay, and that's a really, really big one for keeping ourselves small. Okay, and actually, who cares? To get beyond that fear, to get beyond that chaos and confusion, it takes courage, it takes a step. Okay, think standing on a cliff edge and stepping off with the faith that you will fly. Okay, it is literally a leap of faith, but with that leap, you leap out of that fear, out of that chaos and confusion, and the logic all falls into place. You're able to see clearly what you weren't able to see from within that place of fear or chaos. Okay? Now, in terms of the shoulds and what other people will think, ditch should. Okay? It is not helpful. Switch that to could, can, will, want to, love to. All of those are much better chemical states to be in than a should. Okay? If you think, oh, I should do the laundry today, versus, oh, I could do the laundry today, you can feel a difference in that internal chemistry, and that internal chemistry is key because that is what will drive action or procrastination. Okay, so get that good internal chemistry going. Really, really important. Okay, and actually, ultimately, approval means we're looking for acceptance from the outside. We will never ever get it, and we will never be happy. Okay, so it's all about that internal acceptance, and when we can accept ourselves internally, we're able to accept others as well. Okay, and it means we're able to then form those working relationships, those personal relationships, and allow them to grow and develop and nurture those a lot more effectively. Beyond fear, there is chaos and confusion. Okay, and this is where I meet a lot of the clients that I work with. They have one foot in fear, one foot in chaos and confusion, and just aren't quite sure what to go, almost sort of paralysis by analysis, or finding themselves going around in circles. So confusion and chaos is a good thing because beyond chaos and confusion comes enlightenment, and without them, we can't have resolution. Okay, so we need the system to be upset. We need a spanner in the works in order for logic to come out. Okay, chaos theory states that if you're in chaos, just add a little bit more and eventually that has to right itself. Confusion, again, it's a good thing. Okay, now often as human beings, it's human nature to want to know. We need to know what's happening. We need and crave that security. Okay, but if you consider that you can't be confused about something you know nothing about, then that implies you must know something about what you're confused about. So just embrace that chaos and confusion. Easier said than done, I know, but definitely possible. And the great thing is once you allow yourself to move beyond that chaos and confusion, you are then back into a universe of infinite possibility. You've broken out of your box, out of that map, onto an entirely new map that is free for you to build. Okay? And you reach a place where you can be comfortable not knowing and where life just is. Now, if you find yourself seeking justice or living from a position of black, white, right, wrong, good, bad, then you are guaranteed to be living from that central box of your map, from that I am place. Okay, and what it does is it causes you to be almost in lockdown, and it makes your world and your reality very, very small. Now then, on to reality. A very clever chap called Noam Chomsky, back in the 70s, he said there is no such thing as reality. Now what he meant is that we all experience reality in very different ways according to the filters that we have. And so, whenever we have new information coming into the system, okay, now the system of our I am and our current beliefs and values, any new information that comes in, we will generalize it, delete it, or distort it in order to fit with who we currently believe ourselves to be. Now, all of these things have their pros as well as their cons. Generalization at its best is how we learn. For example, we learn when we're very small that a door, you can push it, you can pull it, you can slide it. It's an entry and an exit point to a building. We don't then, every time we come up to a building, need to relearn how to access that building. Okay, we can generalize that all doors will enable us to enter and exit. Okay, at worst, of course, it will lead to things such as racism, sexism, where we make big generalizations about big groups of people. Now, watch your language with generalizations. If you find yourself using the words always or never frequently, then you are running some big generalizations. Have a look at what you're saying, break it down, and just make that a little bit smaller, because if we generalise, we miss some of the finer detail. Now, when it comes to deletion, our brains are absolutely incredible, and we are processing information every second, thousands and thousands, if not millions of pieces of information, and it would simply overload the system if we had to process all of those. And so the brain is able to delete those which are not necessary to us. So, for example, if I show you this picture on this slide, and what I want you to do is count how many orange items you can see in the picture. So I'll give you a few seconds and just have a look at how many orange items you can see. Okay, now I'll clear the picture. Now, how many green items were there? Chances are you completely overlooked the green items because you were focusing on the orange. Okay, your mind is able to delete what's not important in that moment. Now, distortion, again, a very handy tool. If you're redecorating one of the rooms in your house, you have to distort reality to be able to picture what that room will look like in the future. So pick the colour of your walls, your soft furnishings, what the vibe of the room's going to be. So you distort your current reality to see how that'll look and whether it will suit the room. Okay? However, we can also distort facts based on our beliefs and values, and these can be detrimental in terms of our self-esteem and the value we put onto ourselves. Take a look at this slide. What do you see? Some of you may see the words opportunity is now here. Others may see opportunity is nowhere. Which did you see? Now, what you see will be based on the filters that you're currently looking through. And so this is where the map is incredibly important. What the map does is it allows you to take an objective view and see where you've actually come from and how you've got to where you currently are. And perhaps realise that where you currently are and what you're currently identifying with isn't all that defines you. And so, what we do with our I ams, they're two incredibly powerful words, because whatever you put after I am, that is what you become. And all of your beliefs and values will align so that you see that in front of you. Now, please remember the filters: generalization, deletion, and distortion. So if you say, I am skint, or I am broke, I am poor, if you have a kind of a mindset like that at the moment, your beliefs and values will form around that. So I deserve to be, my family was, I'm from this background, which means that we don't get out of this situation. Whatever you've put on there, please bear in mind that you will then be generalizing, deleting, and distorting any information to the contrary to fit to that current belief system and identity. And this is why the map is so important. So the question is, what reality are you currently perceiving? Or perhaps more importantly, who are you being that's currently allowing you to see your reality in that way? And who would you like to be to change your reality? Now, honestly, I cannot stress this enough, and until I started doing this work, I sort of didn't believe in all the woo, etc. However, if you change your identity, I promise you, your entire reality changes. Now, that's because those filters, again, that generalization, deletion, and distortion, you will begin to look at and find evidence to support the identity that you are assuming. So for example, if you think about when you have a car that you really like and you'd like to buy, and you think, I will buy, I don't know, a yellow car, and all of a sudden, every second car on the road is a yellow car. Now that doesn't mean that those yellow cars weren't there before, it just means you were deleting them because they weren't important to you. However, now, because that focus is on having a yellow car, your mind is seeking out the evidence to support yellow cars in your reality. Make sense? In the free PDF download that you can download at the end of this talk, there's a lovely I am exercise for you to do where you can sit in your own company, come up with the first 10 I ams that come to mind, don't overthink it, and then just have a look at them, and you may be surprised at how you've prioritised your identities and what meanings you've given those as well. Now remember, those meanings, those justifications, are the beliefs that you hold about those identities. So have a think. We are all chameleons. We are able to shift identity pending the next person that comes into the room or the next context we find ourselves in. Now, to give an example of this, we all know that we are very different people at home to who we are at work, to who we are with our girlfriends, to who we are with our in-laws. Okay, we're able to swap and chop and change who we are being, pending the context, pending the people. So, who are you being as a mother? And what beliefs do you have about that? Who are you being as a businesswoman? Who are you being as an entrepreneur? Who are you being as a woman? Who are you being as a girl? And what meanings are you putting into those identities? Now that might be an interesting exercise if you're struggling a little bit with the juggle that we all have between balancing our work life and our home life and what being a mother means versus what being a successful businesswoman means. Create a list of your identities in each of those separate contexts and just see where you have similar identities and where those identities differ. Okay, it's really nice sometimes just take a step back, because when you're in that chaos and confusion, it can be very difficult to see the wood through the trees. So by writing it down and having that visual in front of you, you're able to step back and look objectively at where you currently are and what you would like to change. Okay, you're able to turn that smart brain on. So the big question is, how do we make this step to changing ourselves, changing our identities and our realities, our beliefs and values? And a big step towards that is changing the language we use. Now this is the language we use with ourselves and also the language we use with others. Now a word of warning about the word why. Now whying is not helpful. Okay, now a why question engages the part of the brain that's called the amygdala. Now this is the primitive part of the brain. It's that fight-flight response that we've all heard of, which actually switches off the prefrontal lobe. So that's the logical part of the brain. So instead of why, I want you to start asking how, what, when, where, and who. So that's one big homework going forward. Ditch the why. How, what, when, where, and who questions only. Try explaining that to your 3-year-old. And also, can't doesn't exist. Okay, tell me you won't and I'll believe you. There's no such thing as can't. Did you know that Michael Phelps's coach absolutely banned the word? He's not allowed to use the word can't. Okay, and hence he is now the biggest holder of Olympic gold medals. Okay, because can't just isn't in his vocabulary. Another one is try. Okay, try is a biggie, and I hear a lot of people trying very, very hard. Now then, let me give you an example of trying. So take this pen, for example. Okay, now then, I can take the pen, or I can not take the pen. But to try to take the pen involves an awful lot of effort for no useful outcome. Okay, we've all had that friend or colleague that said, oh yeah, I'll try and get this to you by Tuesday. You know it's not getting to you by Tuesday. Okay, whereas if they say, I'll get this to you by Tuesday, you've got a lot more confidence in that person that they're actually going to meet the deadline. Okay, so get rid of try. As Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. So now I want you to start thinking about your future. What is it you want? I want you to think of one thing that will enable your business to move to the next level that you are currently scared of doing. Okay, just one thing. And I want you to form a picture of what your business will look like once you have done and achieved that one thing. Now that picture needs to be as vivid as you can possibly make it. Make it big, make it bright, make it HD, make it colourful. Add sound. What can you hear? What are people saying? What are you saying to other people? How are you feeling? How are other people that have experienced your business feeling? And what are they saying to you about their feelings? What time of year is it? What's the weather like? Who else is with you, sharing in that success? Now shut your eyes if you need to. Often it's much easier to form these pictures or these movies with your eyes closed. And now I want you to travel forward in time, okay? 12 months from now. And I want you to look back from 12 months' time to 6 months' time, having already achieved what it was that you were scared of. And notice, what was that first step that you took today that made that happen? Equip yourself now with the tools, with the knowledge, with the information that you need, knowing full well that 12 months from now, you will not only have overcome that thing that you were scared of, but you will have absolutely smashed it out of the park. And you've now seen what the result of that success is. Okay, so neurologically, you are now wired to make that your future reality. And so take that time, take all the time you need to just notice what that first step you took today was in order to make that future so. In a nutshell, that's what I have to share with you today about identity and success. And so in order to take your business to the next level and to make it as successful as possible, you've got to assume that identity of a successful businesswoman, a successful mum, a successful entrepreneur. So change those beliefs. Okay, remember, if a car has a dent in it, it will continue to be dented until you do something about it to sort that dent out. Okay, the same applies to you. Until you take a look at what language you're using with yourself and what beliefs you are currently holding about yourself and change those to be better serving, then you are the only one holding you where you currently are. And if it's not where you want to be, you're the one that can do something about it. So that's great news. No need to outsource. However, if you would like a little bit of a hand, I have a special offer just for you guys. For just £99, you get to spend an hour with me in a one-to-one Zoom call session where we will look at where you're getting yourself stuck and strategies to immediately move you forward and get you to that place you want to be. So in order to book that, you can just email me at jen@transformingyou.co.uk. Also, I am offering you today a free PDF workbook. And this workbook consists of practical tools to level up you and your business. So you've got that I am exercise that I told you about earlier, as well as a meanings exercise, which will help you identify what beliefs and values you are currently holding that may be holding you back. You also have the opportunity to create that future. Okay, if you were to think, if I could not fail and I could only succeed, what would I do? Okay, and again, it really identifies where that fear is stopping you and enables you to take that leap of faith to do. Okay, the key is to do rather than think about it, do it, be proactive. Okay, there's also a logical levels exercise. So this will enable you to have a look at your identities through different levels. So through different environments, what environment best serves you, what capabilities do you have, who do you need to be in order to get the results you want in your business? Okay, so it's a really useful exercise to gain immediate clarity on some steps that you can take in order to move yourself forwards. Okay, and remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes. It's down to you to change inside, which will then change how you see the world outside. Okay, so if you don't believe you're successful, that outside world will guarantee to make that so. Okay, it's not until you change your beliefs that you are successful. You are capable of taking your business to the next level. You deserve to take your business to the next level. You deserve to have that family life. It's possible to have a thriving home life and a thriving business simultaneously. And until you believe that with every ounce of your body, then that external world will start to prove otherwise. So it's been really nice to talk with you today as part of this Business Without Borders Summit. I hope you have found what I have to say useful. I am Jen Mansfield of Transforming You, and the work that I use is the Hudson Mind Process approach, which you can find more about at www.bodymindworkers.com. And you can also visit my website, www.transformingyou.co.uk, for more information, ideas, one-to-one sessions and workshops. All right, take care. Bye.